Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to work out 10 questions. Today's question or alone, I've just made a random selection of questions from all these subjects. But in the forthcoming videos, it will be one video dedicated for a particular subject, likewise for all the other subjects. So let's move on to the questions. First question is, Talon cusp is associated with dash syndrome, and they've given us four options: Rubinstein-Tabby syndrome, orofacial digital syndrome, Beckett, and Brooke syndrome. So the answer for this question is Rubinstein-Tabby syndrome. So see, when you're working out syndromes, it's very it'll be very easy if you can always have a note. As I mentioned in the prior videos, you can have a note and you can just write the syndrome and what are the clinical manifestations which come along with this particular syndrome. And there are also few other syndromes which will cause these Talon cusps. You can also write that and keep it. As you can see in the picture, this is the Talon cusp, which is present in the central incisor, the arrow mark. Okay, that is a Talon cusp. So now let's see what are the other syndromes, like Moore syndrome, Sturge-Weber syndrome, incontinentia pigmenti acromiens, Elise van Creveld syndrome. These syndromes will also have Talon cusp associated with them. So in case if they ask any one of this, you should mention also. So moving on to question 2. Gas gangrene is caused by dash. They've given four options: Staphylococcus species, Treponema species, Clostridium perfringens, Privitella species. So answer for this question is Clostridium perfringens. So see, you can see that question. One is Staphylococcus caries, Treponema species. Treponema is syphilis, and Privitella species caries. Staphylococcus, yes, other infections also. So you should know which will cause what. Only then you can mention Clostridium perfringens for gas gangrene. So the gas gangrene can also be caused by these three organisms: group A Streptococcus, Staphylococcus aureus, and Vibrio vulnificus. But still, the most common is Clostridium perfringens only. Moving on to question 3. A normal serum calcium level is dash, and they've given 16 to 18, 12 to 14, 9 to 11, 6 to 9. See, there are different ranges and the answer is also a little different. So you should come to a conclusion with whatever is given. The answer for the normal serum calcium level here is 9 to 11 mg per dl. But mostly in the books, if you see, it will be given as it is between 8 to 10. But then the most common here is 9 to 11. So we have just given 9 to 11. So question 4. The dye used for measuring plasma volume is dash. They've given us four different things: T1824, T1324, H1824, H1324. So here the answer is the dye used for measuring plasma volume is T1824. So how can you come to a conclusion like this? See, first is you should know the answer, whether it's going to be T or H. So with that, you can just take the next two options. So, and then the first two options, when you know exactly whether it's 18 or 13, you can conclude it's 1824. So moving on to question 5. Grid dash in radiography. So whether it increases the exposure time, or the grid reduces the exposure time, or it increases scattered radiation reaching the detector, or it plays no role in the scattered radiation. So the answer for this question is it reduces the exposure time. See, one they have given whether it increases or reduces, and the next they have given it increases the scattered radiation and then plays no role. So if it plays no role, then it does not increase. So both the options just goes away. So it should increase or decrease the exposure time. So you should know that and you should take that answer. So moving on to question 6. The permanent plastic deformation is called dash. See, this is a question which has been ever since for a very long time. So you should know this. they keep asking this. It's a repetitive question. So the plastic deformation, the permanent plastic deformation is creep. Okay, so tensile strength is totally different. And then the viscosity, it is resistant to flow, right? So that is also different. The stress is also different. So the permanent plastic deformation, if that permanent plastic deformation is there, the answer is creep. So let's move on to question 7. Incremental lines of von Ebner. Okay, see, in this also you'll get a lot of confusions. So please keep this in mind. You have to just write down for each, for enamel what it is, for cementum what it is, dentin what it is. So here the answer is dentin. So incremental lines of von Ebner are found in dentin. Okay, so please write in a separate note. I told even in the prior videos different names, so you should know this means it's for this. Like that you have to write in keep. It will be very easy for you. Question 8. Relative lightness or darkness of a color is known as dash. They've given the options hue, value, tone, saturation. So for relative lightness or darkness of a color, the answer is value. Okay, so when when you say that it is a lighter shade or it is dark shade, light blue, dark blue, that is called as the value of the color. Hue is different, tone is different, and saturation is different. So moving on to question 9. Sun ray appearance is a radiographic feature seen in, they've given us 4 options: osteosarcoma, myeloma, sickle cell anemia, multiple myeloma. So the answer for this question is osteosarcoma. Okay, see, this should be the same way how you're going to write for von Ebner. In that note, you have to write sun ray appearance, osteosarcoma. You should have it like that. And so when you jot it down, for myeloma also you'll be having, sickle cell anemia also you'll be having. So you'll know exactly what will be the answer when the question comes. So moving on to our last question, question 10. The drug of choice for anaphylactic shock is dash. They've given us 4 options: noradrenaline, adrenaline, morphine, and diclofenac. So the answer for this question is adrenaline. So this is not only here, they will ask even in your clinical practice, in your clinics, this is a very important question. So the drug of choice of anaphylactic shock is adrenaline. And the most important thing is, they will not only give adrenaline, sometimes they will also ask you whether it is epinephrine or norepinephrine. So answer is epinephrine.